Kia ora social media fam, it's your girl Tyler and I am back with another episode of A Recipe to Getting Somewhere. Now if you haven't seen my other video, please go and check it out because I'm completely revamping the whole channel. And to start off my first series and my first episode, I have my friend Shay with me.
What up?
To start off this little thing that I'm going to be working on. So the reason that I brought Shay on is because when we met about 3-4 years ago,
2017, yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
If my maths is correct. 3 years ago, he was in a completely different space. He had a completely different vision to where he currently is now, and it's been amazing to see him come from that to now where he is now. And I really want to kind of deep dive into what changed the trajectory of his journey. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Well, first of all, look, I'm going to start the story. I'll tell the true story on how we actually met.
I was going to do it, but fine, you know, whatever, go.
I know you'll change it up a bit. So basically what happened was, I think back in 2017, we used to run these boot camps in Kangaroo Point in Brisbane. And so we have a mutual friend, and so she came with her friend. And basically what happened was, I turned up to the training, and then so to her, all she saw was this glowing light come. And so as I'm coming through, like literally to her, it was like slow motion. You know how movies when the guy comes in like slow motion, you know, like that's exactly what she saw. Like she was just in awe, and you know, and she like, so I'm training, you know, and I'm like doing my thing, and then I could just see in the side of my eye that she just really wants to talk to me. But anyway, she didn't find the courage to talk to me that day, so she actually messages me on Facebook.
I don't know if that happened. That didn't happen.
That's exactly what this is the true story. She's like, oh, listen, man, I saw you at training, you know, next time you reckon you could say hi? So I was like, yeah, sure. I went over, I went, hey, and she's been living happily ever after since.
What happened was that I saw this dude walk in with bright red fuck off J's who didn't say a word, and I was like, he's an asshole.
No,
like, that was
I was just real cool. You know how cool people
impression.
don't talk to people? That was like my vibe. But,
anyway, so that was actually how we met, and then I think our friend brought us together because I wanted to get a Kangen machine. So we went to Nando's, and he bought me Nando's.
I didn't know.
You didn't. So that's actually how we met, and that is how our friendship blossomed into what it is today. Besides the fact that we're both Kiwi and our
from the same hometown.
Our families are very closely connected, so we're pretty much related.
That was the crazy bit when we found out that she's the same hotel. Because I went back to New Zealand and I was like back at our cemetery, and then I saw like her a last name that she had mentioned. So I took a photo. I was like, "Do you know this?" Like, yeah, it's my grandmother.
Great grandmother.
Great grandmother. Yeah, it's crazy. So small world, man. Like we didn't know each other at all from bar soap, and then we've come to Australia, and
damn it.
Yeah. Damn.
Nah, I'm stuck with them, damn it.
She lives happily ever after. All because I said hi. I was like, hi.
Oh my god.
And all that, you know, her life is fulfilled now.
Yeah, right. Look at where I am. Look at where I am, Shane.
Nah, you're doing awesome. You're doing well.
Thanks. Anyways, that is a bit of background on our friendship and how we came to be friends. His side's not right, my side's right.
But we kind of kicked off pretty much like off the bat.
Yeah.
Got a lot of, we have a lot in common, eh?
A lot of similar visions, goals,
thought
processes, morals, I think too, and like
do a lot of random shit too.
Yeah.
I think the first video at yours.
Were we sculling water?
Yeah, the colour water demo. And actually you made a straw out of cardboard.
Yes, I did! I'm so creative.
It was actually really good.
Oh, those are the times. That was really
if you watch the video, the quality is really terrible. Eh?
I was in my house in Woodridge.
Woodridge, 414.
Now I live in the city.
What, you think you're too good for the hood now?
I mean, look at me. No jokes. Kidding. Anyways. But that's pretty much, a background of our friendship. And I guess for people to know more about where you were back then, I guess just explain to them your situation at the time, what you were, like your state.
Honestly, I was a mess. 2017, I was a mess.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell, honestly. 2017.
I mean, same. No jokes.
Were you in a mess in there?
Like, that was when it started.
So yours started and I was kind of really in it, eh? Yeah. Because basically my life literally was like flipped upside down. I mean, from 2016, like I just come back from Vegas, you know, and like on my way up kind of thing. So you got the high vibes, and then at the start of the year, like I was at a resort like with millionaires and stuff, you know. So like you're like, yeah, life is on its way, and then fucking out of nowhere, it was like,
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I think what topped it all off was. We obviously, you know, my partner at the time was pregnant with my son, and we only just had our little girl. I don't think she wasn't even 1 yet. So that threw a spanner in the works. So for me, mentally, I'm like, fuck, I'm only just getting shit with just my daughter. How am I going to raise a son as well? So I started becoming obsessed with, all right, I've got to work and get shit prepared, because now I've got 2 kids. You know, a lot's going to change. For me, I suppose the kids was like kind of my wake up call, because like I was floating through life, you know, and then when I found out when I was pregnant, when I found out that my daughter was coming, that was like the whole shit, all right, I need to get my shit together, I need to, you know, start being more grown up, being more serious. And so when I had my daughter, I don't know, something in me and my DNA changed. I always say that when I held my daughter for the first time, I don't know, just something in my brain just rewired, and then all of a sudden, I cared about something completely more than I cared about anybody else, which was my little girl. And then, so obviously I was just trying to get the ropes, and then we got, you know, straight away like, oh, now I've got a son coming. Oh, fuck. I'm still trying to learn the fatherhood stuff. But then, yeah, and so
well played.
So I became more obsessed with work. I'm more obsessed with just making money. I started neglecting pretty much everything around me. And then what really hit was my little cousin, who you know, we got the call from my dad that he died, you know, and he's only real young. And so for me, that hit me, because my relationship with that family is very, very close. Like you could almost say that that family is like extended brothers and sisters. And the last time I had seen my little cousin, like I made all these promises to him, and I realized that I didn't deliver on one of them. And now he's gone, and so I had a lot of guilt coming into me, but I tried to push those feelings aside, those emotions aside, and I literally started I kept trying to hustle without, you know, just trying to ignore it all. And but you know, I ended up having to go back to New Zealand, and then in New Zealand, everything sort of just unleashed. Like I had obviously a lot of deep emotions and feelings that kind of just, a lot of things inside me started to break out. And then to make it worse, not only did we lose our cousin, but we had another 3 deaths in the family within like the 2 weeks.
Which is intense.
Like we just buried my cousin, then we had to go to a funeral to another one. And that really screwed me up a bit, because that guy was my age. And I hadn't really met him. But the weirdest thing is when I went to his casket, because in New Zealand we have open caskets in the marae, and we hold it there for 3 days. When I went to go say my goodbyes, the weirdest thing, like for a split second, like I thought I saw my own face, like in the casket. So I was tripping, yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And then obviously it wasn't. But that played with me. Like I remember I was having dreams of just looking at myself in a box. But again, I was trying to push those emotions aside, and then I came back to Australia, went to work, and then my colleague had committed suicide. So she died. I don't know, I think a lot of stuff was just going in my head, and then I possibly feel like I might have slightly started to fall into some sort of depression. And then like, not long over, Careers Australia actually shut down, you know, so the job was gone. And then so I tried to pour my energy into my network marketing business at the time. So I just poured it. I started being heavy on my team and just like really just forcing them like to just turn up, do stuff and just work. And then they were delivering, and then there was heaps of fighting between like my relationship at the time, and then there was like heaps of drama within my family. I no longer wanted to deal with it all, so I just started to just work. I'm just going to work.
With the work, so you said you were in network marketing. What made you decide to go down the network marketing route versus traditional business or online business?
Well, it was actually support. So what got me into network marketing was just my mate. Like my mate is the one who he just messaged me, hey, I'm starting this fitness business. You know, do you want to come? Yeah, sure, whatever. And then I went there and like I made fun of it, honestly, like because it was like a house party, you know, and they go up there to their presentations.
Yeah, been to a few of those.
You know, and then they were like, oh, you know, I've got this BMW and all that, and I'm like, oh, here we go, you're trying to sell me the dream.
That,
So I was making fun of it, you know, just being the idiot at the back, making jokes, but because my partner then, she was actually really sick, and like was spending all this money on medication and stuff, and like she's just going nowhere. So they were talking about gut health, and I was like, you know what? Do you want to just try these and see if it works? Like the worst case scenario is we just borrowed more money. You know, we spent so much money on medication anyway.
Yeah.
And so she liked to taste the shake, so yeah, sure. And then because me, fucking, I'm such a spender. You know, why buy one pack when you can just buy?
We'll get into that.
Just buy the whole thing. So I bought the biggest pack that they had, and he's like, oh, if you're gonna buy that pack, you might as well do the business. I was like, yeah, sure, all right. And so I did it, and then we actually had massive success in the health. Like her health increased like crazy. She wasn't going to hospital anymore, and that was just blowing my mind. So automatically, I'm like, well, fuck, this shit works. I want to get into it. And I've never done anything like that ever.
I love how you just like, I love how you are because we're very similar. Like when we see something, we're just like, oh fuck it, let's just go all in. Like we don't do half-ass. We're either all in or nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because well, you know, you might as well either do it or you don't.
Once, YOLO.
But I will say that was obviously where a lot of my growth came from was within that team, within those people. It was a lot of fun too, you know. Funny enough, me making fun of those presentations, I ended up being the guy going around doing it. And I was really enjoying it. I was having a lot of fun. Like, I mean, you know, just because we'd go do these presentations and then go have a party. Like, it was just a cool balance, cool life. And then we were actually making some good dollars from this stuff. But then, obviously, when the fun was gone and I became obsessed with just making money, just obviously because I want to provide for my kids, it just didn't flow anymore. And I personally believe that I kind of killed it. I killed the vibe because of my obsession, and so that's why business went downhill.
Your obsession with money?
Yeah, or just obsessed just to make something. And then honestly, I think I was just trying to push aside. I wasn't taking time to grieve or nothing like that. I was just like, no, I've got to stay busy, because obviously my role models at the time were like Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
Who else was I looking at? I was looking at Grant Cardone a lot then. Robert Kiyosaki, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. They're just like hard workers, you know. You just got to grind, push, break through, and that also led me to just like not even doing things morally anymore. Like I was just trying to shortcut.
Or not really being productive, like doing stuff, but not.
Well, I was trying to shortcut my way through. Yeah. So now, like, I'm trying to hit these businesses. And trying to like undercut them. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, my morals were starting to go a bit off, and I feel like, I don't know, spiritually or something, I felt that. And then, so business went down, job went down, so now I'm making no money, and then all the pressure was on my partner at the time, and we're just fighting like crazy. And then, because we were together 10 years, and then that relationship actually broke down, and then so I was just like, basically lost everything. Like rock bottom. Was now living off my little sister, which was fucking embarrassing. Like I couldn't even afford to pay her to live with her. So, you know, but I'm real grateful because she took me in regardless.
Let's expand more on your financial situation at that time, because we both know it was pretty intense.
My financial
explain that.
Terrible. Like I said,
a bit more.
Yeah. So I literally, like, I had no money. I literally lost. Like all my savings, I had all the savings just burnt through really, really quickly. Which
is really strange, because if you know Sheah, well, you won't know, well, most of you won't know Sheah, but if you know Sheah, like, he's still like a giver. Like, we would go and do stuff and he'd still be like, oh, I'll get it. And I'm like, it's fine, you don't have to get it. And he'd be like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, are you okay? Like,
yeah,
I know how you are. Like, you need to like calm.
That probably did contribute to me burning my money.
Just a little bit, but, you know.
I used to get yelled at all the time. About I don't know.
I mean, I was partly the person yelling at you, but.
But then I think, what really killed the relationship was, I think I had like $1,500 left, and I bought a conga machine, like put a deposit down. We just had my son.
You still have though.
Yeah, I still have it. I'm so glad I did it. Best investment. I'm still alive. Like, it was worth it. But obviously I bought it for my kids because I'm like, no, I want them to have the best. And so now literally I bought all that money. I only got $300. And I'm just like, alright, well, I don't know.
And you're not an Australian citizen, right? So you can't get any help either.
Nah, I don't get any
So we don't get help.
I don't get benefits or anything like that. I got a bit of pride. I don't know. I got that pride too that I probably would take that. If I got hands and feet, I can talk, I can think. Then,
you can do it.
Yeah, you just got to get your ass out there. But then I got lucky and got a job with the car dealership. My friend just messaged me out of the blue, like, I get you a job.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I got my Audi. You know.
I was going to bring that up too.
Yeah.
The bloody Audi. How much was your Audi, if you don't mind me asking?
I got a really good deal. I got it for 30-ish.
R8? R6?
No, it was A4. It was A4. Yeah, it was A4. But I got it because I only just started the job. I was there for like a week, and then I put an application to get it. And then I got a message from one of the big bosses, like, did you put in for a car? I was like, yeah. He's like, you've only been here for like 2 weeks, so I was worth a shot. And he was like, try again. And then they gave it to me. So,
honestly, sometimes I don't even know how this stuff happens. Like, he'll just be like, oh, fuck it, I'll just see what happens. And then he gets it, and I'm like, normal people wouldn't get shit like that because you've only been working for 2 weeks.
I don't know, I just think it's worth a shot. Always,
so funny.
If you want something, it's always worth a shot. So, but then actually, I ended up with that job though. I ended up putting myself into debt quite a lot. So
how much was your overall debt in the end?
I got close to 100 grand of debt, yeah. But some people way more, man. You know?
I know, but like, oh my god. So I helped him out with some of his stuff. He had like parking tickets and fucking tolls of like a year stacked up. So I was like going through all the papers. I'm like, he's like chilling on the couch like on his phone, and I'm like got all the papers laid out on the floor, going through them all, like trying to work out what's what. Honestly. I'm like, how did this happen? He's like, I just ignored it. Or like, I didn't know the mail was coming. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, it was the funniest thing, but
I'm real oblivious. I'm just real oblivious with stuff. I don't really pay attention to the small things. So just like spending, going out, having fun, doing
living the high life.
Living the high life, and then not even paying attention to these bills that were racking up. But honestly, what really killed me was because I had a friend who, I think she lost her job or something like that, and so she couldn't afford her rent. So I was like covering for her for a bit, and then I was like, that'll be all my stuff. That'll be fine. I'll catch up. It'll be sweet. I've got a new business in Kangan now. I'm gonna make some sales. That'll cover everything. Because I had all these sales lined up.
I love your resilience and persistence, but I'm glad you worked on that.
Yeah. The Kangan stuff didn't quite work out.
I know.
I made all these sales, but for some reason the money I never got paid for it. But then I ended up hating a job, and I just left. I was like, you know what, this is not for me, and I just left.
What job was that?
The dealership.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was like,
yeah, you weren't there for long.
Nah. Like I don't know. Woke up one morning, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to work. And for me, I've had so many jobs, but I know if I wake up and don't want to come to work anymore, that my mind will just not even be there, and it's just a waste of the company's money, a waste of time. I'm better off just trying to find something else. So that's what I did. I went in there.
How many jobs have you had, do you think?
I don't know.
Have you counted?
No, I haven't counted. I've had a bit though.
Yeah.
They're all different stuff.
We should totally do that. We should count it up and see how many
let's say what I've done. But yeah, so I left that job, and then I was like, solely we're just going to rely on the Kangan business, which failed. And then I ended up getting into huge debts, struggling. I think I was only just making enough money to pay child support. It was real bad.
Actually, I do remember that.
And then obviously I'm getting phone calls by all these people like, hey, where's my money? You know, you owe me.
So just a little thing on that. I was like, Tim, have you called like your car people or like the bill companies just to let them know that you don't have a job and like you're struggling, like not going to be able to pay it? And he's like, no. And it's been like 3 months, and I'm like, you need to call them and just tell them like they'll be fine. Literally, as he called the dealership, they were in the process of repossessing his car. But they didn't because he called them. Well, you have to pay a bit of money too, but
yeah. I was.
Oh my god, it was so close.
Yeah, they were. But then I did get myself back on track. Went back into the security industry, and then
so
I went back into that. I got into that business, and then I started to build myself up, because I think it was 2018. This is where I thought I was like the man. I was starting to make these mad moves. Yeah, I know, like ego. I had an ego, but
you have an ego.
like I won't mention company. I don't think I'm allowed to.
Nah.
But basically, I was making these moves where if I got this contract, it was national. You know, for our security business, it was national. They're a huge client, and we were set to make like millions and millions. So all my attention just went onto that. I zoned in on that, and that was my biggest lesson though, where obviously I'm very new in the entrepreneurial game, and I'm just thinking you can just go in there and just like talk it up, be charmful, and you get what you want. But I ended up, all my work basically was taken, all the credit and all that ended up getting taken to another company, and they got the contract. All because of something that it was a miss site. So basically all my work, all the credit was actually being funneled to this other company. And that's the whole point. Leverage, it's all leverage.
Get far in life, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you leverage, you get young, hungry people to come in, and smash all the work, and then you're the one that brought them in. So, you leverage. So they leveraged on my work, and they kept the contract. So that was a good lesson. And I was like, all right, okay, cool. You just got to be a bit smarter, and obviously, just don't think that you're the shit. Just don't think that you've got everything. Like, yeah. But
like not have all your eggs in one basket, because you were very focused on that.
Yeah, all my focus.
And then when you were with Enagic, you were very focused on that, and then your health was similar as well.
Well, I think I blew Enagic off. I went straight for this contract stuff.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah, I blew it off. I blew everything else off. All my other ideas blew it off because I thought I was set in stone.
Yeah.
But then, because that's when we went to Thailand. That was the year we went to Thailand.
We went to Thailand.
Yeah,
so Thailand was
cool.
so spontaneous and it was so fucking good. So like literally I was like in the same boat, like jumping job to job, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I was trying all these things. And then I wanted to just get away for a bit. And then he got hit up to go to Thailand. And then he was talking about it. And I was like, oh, funny you say that. Like, I wanted to go to Thailand. I was thinking about it. He's like, why don't you come? I'm going in 2 weeks. I was like...
It was a real last minute.
It was like real last minute. And I was like, fuck, all right. So we booked it. Yeah, well, you got your passport and stuff sorted. Literally booked it. And then I told work.
Because I had to do the same because I was teaching.
Yeah, I told them like literally like a couple of days before I flew out. Literally. That's so funny.
Yeah,
and then
I was doing those classes, and then because we were both in the same deal. Because we just booked it, and we were like, shit.
Fuck it.
So I had to I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to Thailand at this time, and so I had to finish. Because I was training those people, so I trained those guys, and I had to have a week break, and I come back straight into the next one. But that was random, man.
That was so random, but so
a random phone call, from my friend who was living in Thailand at the time. She had this opportunity for me, so I was like, I'm just gonna take it. And then so I was talking to her, I'm going to Thailand. I'm just booking it. I'm getting my passport now, and just doing it. She's like, I want to come. I was like, yeah, come. We'll just go. We'll go together.
Left. Oh my god, it's the best. And then we went to Singapore for a bit. Well, we only stayed there for a day.
But that was fun. That airport. Yeah, that airport was so cool.
So speaking of, we'll just backtrack a bit before the security story. How you mentioned your whole, well, that's when things started to pick up and go a bit better for you. What kind of changed or switched or snapped like inside you or in your life that took you on that path? And then,
well, for me, I think the first, it was my circle at the time. I cut my circle, so I think all my old friends and all that, I cut them, and because like naturally, I'm naturally an introverted person. I'm not really actually good with crowds.
So weird.
Yeah, I had to practice. Yeah.
But my best friend's like that too. She's introverted, but everyone thinks she's extroverted.
Yeah. I had to practice talking to other people. Practice of just trying to be sociable, having conversations, and so that's what I wanted to do. So I cut my old circle off, and I wanted to have a new circle. So. And that's where I obviously met you, and met all these new friends, and then they brought different beliefs. My friend in Thailand was the one that sort of got me to break out of the shell. Like if you before 2017 at a club, you would never see me on the floor. Like I was that person who would just sit there and just drink all night. Now I think I'm the world's best dancer.
You're like, yeah.
Until you watch the videos back, or whatever. I had fun. I don't care.
It's crack up. No, it's the best. I love it. I love seeing
Yeah,
it.
so different people, you all added like different things
So
for
it's your
me.
circle.
Yeah, you know, so
They always say that's super important. Oh.
sorry.
They always say your circle is super important. And there's always that saying, you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with.
Average,
but with that as well, like, you don't even have to be technically surrounded by that person. Like they say, like, you can listen to podcasts, you know, of like Gary Vee or Grant Cardone, and those add
just whatever
as your
influences
people.
you. Yeah. And I think I would just pick people that I wanted, like characteristics that I liked about them that I wanted to be stronger at.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, you all,
Interesting.
well, you know myself. You guys are all very different.
Oh yeah.
Very different, and that's because they're different pieces of my personality that you guys all have the strongest point at. Like, you guys are better at it than I am, and so you know, I like that influence because it helps me grow those areas.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting perspective. Like, I think subconsciously or unconsciously we do that, but you don't really think about it like that when you're doing it.
Yeah, you're probably naturally doing it.
Yeah.
But that was the sort of when I figured that out, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And that's why you guys' personalities are all different, very different.
But we get along for the most part. No jokes.
Sometimes.
No, we do.
They can't all hang together.
I was like, oh my god, you have memories.
But obviously, the main thing was, like I said, I've got a newborn son and a daughter.
Yes.
They need me, man. They freaking need me, and that was the first thing. So I was aware, because I was like, I was never diagnosed with depression. Like, I never went to a doctor or anything like that.
But you can tell.
But what made me think I had it was when I was literally lying in a tunnel like 3 a.m. in the morning, just hoping for something to take me out of this world. And that, I think, and then when I got a random message from my friend who started talking about my kids, that's when I realized, wait, where the fuck am I? What am I doing? And then I was like, I think I'm depressed. I think I'm literally...
It takes a lot of strength to be able to be aware and diagnose that yourself too, when you're in that mental state.
That's not normal. I never do that kind of stuff, you know. And even my thought pattern, I'm not a quitter. Like, I don't like to quit, especially I'll never quit on life. But here I am in the process, so I kind of think that I was on the track to possibly becoming suicidal. If it wasn't for that random message that I got, you know, who knows where my life would be. So I'm always grateful for that, for her, for reaching out of the blue, 2-3 a.m. in the morning.
What does she want?
Nah, but I'm real grateful, because if it wasn't for that conversation, you know, I don't think I'd be here.
Yeah.
So when I knew that, I then was, alright, I have to do something. So I, you know, first thing, straight to YouTube. I go straight to YouTube and just like, alright, started listening to people's, you know, how they overcome depression, you know, and I started looking for success stories. And some people are like saying they read books, they meditate. So I was doing all that kind of things, those kind of things. I stopped listening to music for a bit. So I switched music out and just did nothing but just positive stuff, you know.
Music can be both like therapeutic and detrimental.
Well,
I find, because I love
to...
music, but at the same time I'll have times where my mind just can't deal with it. I have to like shut it off.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the words that go into your head is what you know, is basically becomes you.
And mine are very like.
And because I was listening to like you know, emo,
yours are pretty intense.
hip hop music like Lil
Uzi
Uzi and Triple X, XXXTentacion, and then heavy metal kind of thing. And you listen to the lyrics and it's just like sad, you know, real sad kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Temptation.
Yeah, well, see, I still listen to their music. I mean,
he's good, but
if when you're in depression, listening to that stuff, you're just feeding it.
Yeah. Which is interesting, because when you're in that state, because I obviously I've dealt with depression as well.
Yeah.
You know that you need like positive things to come into your life and mind, but you for some reason just want to keep feeding.
Well, sadness. It feels good, you know. In a way,
right?
it's intoxicating, and it's it's like you know it's wrong.
Like a drug.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It kind of feels like it, you know. That self-hate, that self-loathing. It's you just get stuck into it. It's very hard to break your mind out of it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't do it on my own. Like, a lot of people think that you do, but
I don't think you can. Like,
you can start the process. It's your choice. It's your choice, and you're the one being disciplined to stick to those choices. Yeah. But other people come in and support that and help you up, and it's hard to even accept that help. You know,
Yeah.
You know,
Especially when you have an ego.
when I was in it, the worst thing I hated is people say, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?" Like, honestly, it actually made me angry. I'm like, fuck off. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm alright. Just leave me alone. The best people were the ones who just came in and just like lived normal. Like, for me,
yeah,
like,
didn't
acted
change
like,
that.
you know,
change
yeah,
the way that they
like,
work
hey,
with
do you want to
yeah.
come to this? Do you want to come and chill at this boot camp?
Yeah.
Or do you want to come out? Or you always get something to eat? It was those kind of actions that helped me, you know, because it was just like they weren't thinking. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to say it, but is it what's condescending mean? I don't know. The words coming to my head.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't like people just like, "Oh, you okay? You okay?" I hate that kind of thing,
Yes.
and even worse when I was under depression. So, and then again, so the new friends that I ended up making were really good with that. You know, they didn't like buy into it for me, and then that made me not want to buy into it. And then every morning I was listening to nothing but positive stuff. Like, it took time, but slowly but surely, I started getting more out of my shower, started leaving my house, started leaving the room, and then focusing on my kids, doing more fun things with the kids. And then, yeah, eventually got back into the workforce and started getting that focus back.
So speaking with the kids, because I know a lot of people, because I'm very spontaneous, I live a very spontaneous lifestyle, and I have people that watch and follow me that have children, and they think, oh, I can't do that because I have kids, I can't do this because I have kids, blah, blah, blah. What would be your advice, or like, I guess, direction to them who have these goals, you know, in bad jobs that they don't like, because they're trying to use the excuse, or not to say it's an excuse, but just saying they're using that take that, oh, I have kids, I can't do that. What would you say? Like, how did you make it work? Like, what worked for you?
A lot of
by
fighting.
having kids.
I don't know.
Living the way that you do.
Yeah, it's people's situation. So obviously my situation was I'm co-parenting, you know, so I don't have my kids all the time. I'd love to, but
you have them a lot more.
Yeah, I had them a lot. Yeah, but that took a lot of
dads,
work, took a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, but look, I'm also spontaneous as well. Like, I literally made a decision to move to Sydney pretty much overnight.
Yeah.
Actually, that same day, and I made it, and I had kids and stuff like that. So I don't know if I could really give good advice. All I can say is, if you're not happy, it's very hard to keep your kids happy, because your mind's not in it. You're not thinking. You know what I mean? Like, my kids have been the most happiest now because I'm happy.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was unhappy, you know, I feel like when you're unhappy, you're putting that on your kids.
They can feel it.
Because like, my daughter would come up to me when I was like real sad and tired and stuff like that, and it felt like she was obliged to try and cheer me up all the time. And she's only like
so
2 or
cute.
3, you know, like, and to me, I'm like, that's what I'm putting on. I'm putting that kind of pressure, whether I know it or not. I felt like that's what I'm putting on these kids. Is like, they come over and the dad's fucking, you know, sad little muppet, you know, and like, and then they got to cheer me up all the time, and I just think they're kids. They shouldn't. It's not their responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, it's my responsibility. I'm a bit older. I'm wiser. I'm supposed to be wiser. You know, I've got to look. I've got to look after them. You know, not the other way around. So, look, honestly, I feel like if it's gonna make you happy, just do it. And
I think you just make it work. You just figure it out.
You'll make it work.
Yeah.
You know, you'll make it work. If there's a will, there's a way, and that is 100% true. There's always, you know,
I think
always
it's just
works
fear.
out.
People just keep fear, like.
It is
holding
fear,
them
you
back.
know. Yeah. And then, like, obviously, if you're in a relationship, you've got your other person's
To think about.
stuff as well. But I don't know, man. And then I think keep yourself happy. Yeah.
I mean, you have to have someone who supports you, like, you know.
Yeah.
what you do. If you're going to be in a relationship, like, we're both single, so what do we know?
Yeah, probably don't take our advice for relationship.
Well, actually, I have good relationship stuff, actually. Right?
Actually, you do.
Thank
you
you.
do good.
Thank
you
you.
actually should be a counsellor. You just can't counsel
because
yourself.
How does that work? You know what?
No, but some people are. No, I feel so. Your strength, I feel you're really good at looking from the outside.
Yeah.
You
When
know?
I'm in it,
Because when you're in it, you can't see, man. Let's be real. Like, you think you.
I have love eyes.
Yeah, you're blinded. You're blinded, and it's gone. You know, but on the out, you know, but she's really good at looking from the outside. So, and that's where I think you give the most advice. Your strong advice, and it's actually really valid. And because you see from both point of views. like that's one of the things I guess I appreciate about this friendship is that because she sees like my view.
I'm not
she
always
sees
on your side. Just on the
most of the time. I don't think you are, right?
Well, no, I am. I just give you
really harsh feedback.
Constructive feedback.
Nah, that's good.
Which
I like
works.
It. I like it. Well, yeah, it does. Well, it's where a lot of my growth came in anyway.
So, let's get to where you are now in your current situation, like mentally, financially, physically, because you've changed so much since we met back then. Like, I've seen a massive growth. I'm sure you've seen a massive growth. Your whole current situation is completely different. So, where are you at now? And then we'll get into other stuff. But where are you at now, just so people know?
Well, I'm not in so massive amount of debt anymore. I've cut that down a lot. And it's the first time, I think, in a long time where I've got myself back into like a financially comfortable state. Like one of my dreams that I used to always dream about back when I was struggling was, I wanted to live in the city, wanted to have my kids, and I wanted to have so much time to be around them, working from home and that kind of stuff. And that's where I'm at now. Isn't
that funny how COVID hit and then everyone got to work from home and now
that worked out really well. I got to
fucking love it.
But that's the thing. The thing about it is, my whole dream was to always work from home, and now I work from home, and I don't think I really like it. And, I've always liked the lone wolf kind of lifestyle, but I don't know, something changed and I don't like it anymore.
You met awesome people.
Like I don't like the lone wolf style. I actually do like being around people now, I actually try to get myself back to I try to cut people off to just go back to just relying on myself. I thought that was the way to go forward as a depression, but I don't like it. I didn't like it. I wasn't happy.
Yeah. So you're currently living in the city.
Yeah.
You've got your own place.
Yeah, for me and my kids. Yeah.
You've got yourself a job.
Yeah.
What happened to the Audi?
So I lost the Audi. It's a sad story. I lost it on my birthday. How funny is that?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Oh, my day comes in. Because basically the way 2018 ended, when I was on my rise, it fell hard. Basically, no one was paying. No clients were paying. I went 6 months, doing all this work and basically I made almost no money out of it. The work I did I worked through Christmas, because you spent Christmas with us.
Yeah. That was when I came back from India?
From India, yeah.
Thailand and
and
India.
You stayed with us a bit, so you were here with us for Christmas. And obviously you saw I was working.
Right. Yeah.
I was working right through it. Yeah, none of that money. It was all.
That's around $10 left in my account.
So I literally made $0, and then so obviously it was just a matter of time before they were going to come collect it. So my birthday, I was on my way to go watch Avengers Endgame with the kids. My two mates came over, they surprised me. They're like, we're going to take you out. And then I get hey, yo, listen, do you have 5 G's on you right now? Or I'm going to take a car. And I didn't have the $5 grand, so I was like...
At least you tried.
I was like, oh, well, bye, baby, I love you. I'll miss you.
It's coming, but just you're not there yet.
Yeah, so that was like, happy birthday, the car's gone.
It was probably the best thing at the time.
To be honest, I didn't appreciate it, to be real. I wasn't appreciated. I didn't appreciate a lot of things, the finer stuff. So if you don't appreciate it, you lose it. So
good point. Actually.
Yeah. So appreciate everything you have, because otherwise it's gone, and then you want it back, and too late. It's gone.
Exhibit A. So now you're in this. Well, you're in a great situation now. But where are you heading? So I don't know if you want to voice your direction, or you don't have to voice it particularly, where are you, what's your plan now?
Well, it's funny because obviously once I had achieved these goals, my next set of goals is it's still money focused. I want to add another 20 G's on top of what I'm earning now by the next financial year. My next goal was to buy a penthouse, so that was it. But I've weirdly hit this metamorphosis, this weird change. Basically, I don't know, since I've been living here, like I've been, again, living the high life, having a good time, fun, out all the time, drinking, all that kind of stuff, enjoying time with the kids, but I don't know, I don't know how to say this, but it feels like life was starting to feel like I lost my taste buds for it. Like, you know, it's become a bit tasteless. Like, and then I'm starting to get to a point where I'm waking up every morning, like, oh, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are you actually doing with your life? Like it's just weird. Like, something just doesn't feel aligned for me. Like, I feel like I got some sort of hole that the stuff's not filling.
Yeah.
You know, everything, my goals, everything I'm working for, it's not filling this hole. And so I'm doing everything in excess now, excessive partying, drinking.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you know, and I'm at this weird stage. So I literally started watching, because he came up on my TikTok, Steve Irwin, you know, Crocodile Hunter.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get.
And I'm watching him, and I don't know, I'm just like, I want what he has. You know, I want what he has, and
in terms of.
He knew what he was doing. Like, he had a purpose.
He knew his purpose.
Yeah, he found his purpose.
His
He knew his purpose. And I watched this guy, and you can just tell he loves waking up every day.
Yeah.
And I don't have that.
It's not work to him. It's just
and I don't
his
have
life.
that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've had that for such a long time.
I feel that.
And then I've started questioning. I'm like, well, even if I hit the goals, even if I buy the penthouse and all that and add extra money, am I still going to wake up like this? Because then what's the point? What's the point of me buying all this fancy shit if I'm still going to wake up feeling like this?
Yeah.
Because I don't like it. Like it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful and I'm very appreciative. I'm very happy with my life, but something's missing. I feel like something is missing with me. And then when I saw Steve Irwin, like, he has what I feel is missing, is that purpose. And I want a purpose. So I'm in the processes now trying to find my purpose. So I've quit my job. The job's not my purpose. So,
so bye.
I'm gonna find something. So I want to find my purpose. And every morning I'm just trying to, well, how do you do that? How do you find your purpose? What is my purpose? What am I here for? What am I wasting my time with? And so that's currently the situation that I'm in, and I'm trying to find what it is that will make me wake up every day wanting to wake up to be happy.
Yeah.
So funny enough, I've gone back to reading the Bible. Yeah. Do you remember, actually, I think it was you that I spoke to, 2018, when I first did it? Because I was into Tony Robbins. So I was like hard into Tony Robbins, and then someone told me that Tony Robbins gets, and like all these big players, all these big business people, they get all their information from the Bible. And I was like, what? So I downloaded this app.
I've read like the condensed version of the Bible.
Yeah, but I didn't understand the app at the time, and so I ended up chucking that away. But a good friend of mine, because I reached out to her and I asked, you know, I sort of shared where I was at, and because I feel like she's found it just recently, because she's starting to do really good moves, and she seems really fulfilled. And so I reached out to her, and no joke, she said that before she asked anybody advice, she said she'll go to a Bible and just like on the Bible app and just search and then read stuff. And so her and I have just started this 5-day plan where it's just you read they set these little chapters for you and you read it, and it's literally finding your purpose. And I've just done day 2 today. Wait, no, I'll tell you what. I'm going to share this advice because it doesn't matter whether you're atheist or what, you know, whether you believe in God or whatever. There's some of this advice is like sound, like it's actually like it's really good advice. And so yesterday, day 1, find your purpose. Like there's a little testimony from this pastor. He's a pastor, and basically he's telling the story. He's like, when he was a kid, you know, his imagination used to go wild. He used to always dream of being a superhero. Like he used to be the kid that used to put the tea towel on his knee, probably, and always be the one to save the day, save people. And now how he found his, so he's a pastor now, right?
Right.
And that's his purpose. You can tell that's his purpose. But it drew back from that because the value was saving people. That
yeah.
was the core value of his imagination, and now he saves people from hell. You know, and so his thing was, and you know, was like just the first step to find your purpose is go back to your childhood.
Yes.
What did you imagine? Yeah. What was your dreams? What was your imagination as a child? Because it wasn't given to you. You didn't bring that up for no reason. That is, you know, like your step for you to understanding what you're here for. Because these things are what strengthen you to make you ready for your purpose. Which is crazy. You know, that I don't know, it blew my mind. I was like,
I resonate with that.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, came in touch with the
do
video
you
or something
remember?
like that as well.
Do you remember as a kid what you imagined?
Oh yeah, and I've told everyone what I wanted.
So what was it as a kid?
What I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Or like what I would do.
What would you dream about? What would you play about? Whatever.
Being on TV. Literally, that was my thing, because I wanted to entertain, motivate, inspire. Literally, that is all I thought about when I was a kid. I'd watch all the shows. I used to put on shows for my dad and my mum. I'd fucking crack jokes all the time, like ones that were pretty lame. Like do stupid shit. Like that was my thing.
But that's what my auntie, because my auntie, before she got that, that's what she used to do. She used to put on little shows for my mum and that. She used to turn the little oven light on, and then they would put the seats.
Or have little teddies and have them up and do stuff.
And then she would do the shows, and then she ended up growing up to be an actress, so that was her purpose, and she found it. And she's directing, you know, and she did amazing things. And so that was, for me, so I was like, what did I do, you know? Honestly, as a kid, all I did was like play fight. Imaginary
fighter.
I was always fighting.
He
stuff.
always wanted to be a UFC fighter.
Well, not actually, I'll touch on to that bit. But as a kid, mine was always like fighting. But I wasn't always the hero though. I used to play both sides. Like when I used to play with my sisters. Yeah, because
you were doing like other stuff in between all of this, and you were always wanting to play the villains.
I always like villains as well. Yeah, especially when I used to play with my sisters, I was always the bad guy. Yeah. They were the heroes, like the Powerpuff Girls or whatever. But this story, the villain stomped them. You know, has to stomp them.
Yeah, he's that one.
The villain
he
wins
just disintegrates people.
But that was the stuff I used to do. I used to obviously play. And my imagination, like my mum's got videos of me when I was like 4 or 5. You just see me and I'm like fighting with these invisible people with these guns and just like Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee and all that.
I could see that too.
And that was my imagination. So that was my first step. I was like, well, what do I like fighting? Is it like warriorship? Is it what I like? Or so at the moment I haven't figured out yet, but I've got to try. If I can find the core values of why I did all that kind of stuff, that will help me understand now what I want to do now.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not going to say it because I'll wait till I get it.
But it actually clicks now. You doing that.
Yeah.
Because because you're saying I was the villain and the hero. You kind of play both sides in that if you think about it.
Yeah.
So you're like bringing those two together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Sorry, we can't tell you guys, but.
Not yet,
but yeah. So on that, because you're going down this new path, which is completely different to where you were back in 2017. So you were more on the, I would say, entrepreneurial side of things back in 2017, right? And now you're kind of going off on a different path. So what's kind of, I mean, every day we're like entrepreneurial, but that's not really.
Well,
it's not aligned. So
it's different.
What's changed? Because you were so focused on being an entrepreneur back then, and I think a lot of people look at entrepreneurship as as a cool thing, glamorous, and it's fucking not. Like it's not all of that. Like that's the end product of what you do. So what changed for you from then of wanting to be an entrepreneur to now going off into this different pathway?
That changed, because I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like I just felt like this isn't cutting it for me. This isn't working for me.
What sold you?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna stop it. I've still got stuff that out there on the side, or that I'm still gonna work on. I think once you're in the game, it's a drug. You can't leave it. But I don't want it, I guess, to be my sole purpose.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel it's my sole purpose. I feel like it just might aid me in my overall goal.
And I think you always said like there were things that you didn't like admin. Like I fucking hate admin. But like when you're an entrepreneur, when you start out, you can. But when you start out, like you do have to do shit you don't like. But there's stuff I don't like at all, and it's a real struggle.
Yeah, well, you
But
either got to put your time or
you just
your
gotta do
money
it.
in.
Money into it,
You
yeah.
know, if you don't have the money, then you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But if you got the money, pay someone else to do it.
So
Someone who
what,
actually likes doing it is good at it.
when you were in that entrepreneurial space, what was drawing you to that? Like, was it just the money? Was it the freedom? Like, what really was your core
freedom. I love options.
thing with that?
Look, don't get me wrong. I like spending. That's the honest truth. I like buying food.
He's materialistic, but not in a bad way.
I am materialistic.
But I like
that's the honest
nice things
truth.
sometimes.
I like the nice
If
cars
you can
and
work
nice
for
houses.
it, why not?
You know, I like the modern lifestyle.
Do you think that stems
food.
back to
Comes down to
our
food.
upbringing or like environment and seeing not having that, or do you think it's just like
Maybe.
instilled in us? Like
Maybe.
that's just
I don't know.
part of
Well,
our personality?
I'm getting right into astrology, and my star sign stuff says all that. So I don't know. Does that come into it?
I guess, well, that's
That
part
stuff
of
is
your soul.
pretty. That's pretty. Because that stuff's pretty. Like how accurate it is sometimes. It's just a bit. I don't know. It just intrigues me. Yeah.
It
So
so
much.
makes sense when you look at all three of them together.
Yeah.
Not
I
when you
prefer
have the
meme.
one.
I like the memes more, but still, it does make sense.
It does
So,
make sense, yeah.
Especially when I read Pisces stuff, it just cracks me up.
Fuck up.
My daughter's also Pisces
Oh,
as
yeah,
well,
so
so
we
I know what
can-
to. But that's what helps. I know what to expect.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
and-
Yeah, when she gets older, you're welcome.
Yeah, I've been blessed enough that I've actually got 2 generations of Pisces, so I've pretty much got a clear path on where my daughter, you know, could head or how I can stir it.
There's two, yeah.
Yeah, I've
ways
got 2
it can
people to
go.
learn from. Emotional, very emotional.
I just like to say that we're very in tune,
Junior emotions.
which a lot of people aren't, so shut the
Who
fuck
cares?
up.
Who cares?
And very
Right,
emotional.
right.
We're also very defensive.
Oi,
No, only
what
at
about that
times,
drunk argument?
What drunk argument?
When you
oh,
order the
fuck. He always brings this up.
Because it cracks me
I did not
up.
order the fucking ula.
She's drunk, she orders an ula, and then the ula
We're in
actually
Sydney, eh?
calls.
Yeah, we're in
you
Sydney.
came to visit Sydney. And then the ula calls, and then you're like, who is this? How'd you get my number? And then she goes, yeah, Shay, talk. And I talk, hey, he goes, hey, it's the ula. I'm like, it's the ula. You
Wait, I
ordered
had
it.
like 5 fucking cocktails.
She's like, you ordered ula. She's like, no, I didn't. I was like, it's him. How else would he have got your number? How else does he know where we're going? You ordered ula. She was so adamant that she didn't order.
It was obviously
The
done by
evidence was clear.
accident, not consciously.
But she wouldn't. She refused to believe that she did it.
You were talking to me drunk. What do you expect? Like
I did not order the ula. You
I've
know,
got
he
such
knew
an
exactly where we
attitude,
wanted to go and got her number. I knew her name. Massive stalker, obviously.
Fuck off.
But yeah.
I mean, I have fun. No jokes.
But yeah, very defensive.
Only sometimes.
Oh, really?
So on that, you know, from 2017 to now, like your different life paths that you're going on, do you think becoming aware or like understanding your strengths and weaknesses and your true vision like changed up your trajectory? Like, you know how like, how do I explain it? I don't know, like once you kind of understand like where your strengths and stuff lie, that can massively impact
Influence
Yeah.
your moods and
yeah, do
actions
you
and
think
what
that
you do in
had a
life.
part in it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Because I learned 2017, year of change. Like it really made me look at myself, like in all aspects of my life, and really become aware of who I am, how I think, what I do, what do I like, what I don't like, who do I like, who I don't like.
This is a big one, I think.
Yeah, and then you know what's you know what feels right to me, what feels wrong to me.
Yeah.
All those kind of things. Yeah, like that self-awareness like really did. And then it does, look, I feel like I've kind of always been self-aware. Like I definitely have always known if I don't like something I won't do it. Simple as that. You can't budge me to do it if I don't like it.
He's stubborn.
Very stubborn, yeah, I'm very, very stubborn. So I've always had that anyway, but just even understanding why I'm stubborn and why it is,
Yeah.
you know, why don't I like it, just understanding that, and then it helps me, okay, cool, this is why I can't do this kind of job or go this path, you know, because this is what happens. And then so when you know all those kind of things, then you can start thinking, well, what things do you like then?
Yeah.
What do you actually like to do? And then you can start branching in towards those paths and actually doing something that you love. Because obviously I'm a very success driven person, but my idea of success changed all the time.
Yeah.
Probably why I was never consistent in anything, because
So
it just kept changing.
what did it look like then versus now?
Well, success back then was literally, being the multi-millionaire, billionaire, having all the cool shit, having all, the high life, rich, famous. To me, that was success.
Yeah.
As to now, success is literally like living your best life. What's best for you.
I think that's important because I read something. I'm actually reading it now. It's called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. I don't know if
it's over there.
Yeah, that one over there. And he talks about living life for your truth. So what we think at times is our truth isn't really our truth. Like we've gotten it from somewhere. And so he gets you to like go deep inside to figure out like exactly, which is where that purpose thing comes in. How you mentioned what did you do as a child and have the cape and stuff. That's what he brings up too, because people like there's so many people today, and I'm not saying that it's not true, but like people are like, I want to be on TV, I want to act, I want to do this, I want to be a content creator. I hear that so many times, but I'm just like, is that really what you want to do, or are you just jumping on the bandwagon of what's happening, or you see it all out there and you're like, oh, I could do that, that'll make me heaps of money, like that kind of thing, which is similar to entrepreneurship. Everyone wants to jump on that bandwagon, but it's
Gary Vee, if you want honestly entrepreneur, Gary Vee probably gives the best advice on it. Is that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to love that grind.
Yeah.
Like you've
got to enjoy that more than the end game.
Yeah, because in the end, like, it's your lifestyle. That's the lifestyle. Like, I think that whole image of I'm gonna be on the beach making money and doing nothing. I think I feel that that's a lie.
Yeah.
You're always gonna be working on something.
Even with online stores, if you have an online store, you still have to be working on it. You can't just leave it there and not do anything with it.
You're always gonna be working. You're always gonna be doing something. And entrepreneurs are always gonna be working.
And
investors are even working.
People are like, oh, then I'll get my weekends, or I'll get to a few days off, and it's like you don't have days off. Like you can choose if you want to have that day, but it's not like, oh, work Monday to Friday.
Which is why you've got to love what you're doing for a living, and that's why obviously Gary Vee, he loves that grind. He loves flipping businesses. He loves constantly being on the move, being on the grind, traveling, all that, and that's why he's living his best life.
That's what someone asked him. He was like, oh, they were like, what do you do in your free time? And he's like, I make more businesses.
Because that's what he loves.
I was like, I fucking love that.
You don't need a day off if you love what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's not work.
It's old,
really.
Like that advice is old. Like we know of it, but yet it's the truth. And a lot of us forget that because we just get caught in the emotions of life, kids, bills, that old dream of get a house, get a family, fence, and that's it. You live the dream, but that's not. I don't think that's the dream. The dream is literally loving what you're doing, and that's what I want. I actually really want that,
and that is also
I'm in the process of trying to find.
Loving what you do is not always going to be like they say. Your passion may not be what you love to do every day. Like for example, someone who loves property or looking at property might go into real estate but hate it, but loves property but wouldn't want to work in real estate. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like as actual job. You mean?
Yeah, like sometimes your passions just won't be the thing that you'll do for the rest of your life, but you'll have it there as a hobby because you love it.
Yeah,
but it's just not going to create you income. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Which I could agree with. There's things that I love, but
honestly,
never fucking work on it.
Just do whatever. Honestly, just do whatever. And if you like it, stick to it. If you don't like it, change it. Because there's no rules in life. Like.
Yeah, who made the rules?
There is none. Dude. I mean, we just wake up one time. We've got memory, and we're on this planet, and we're just getting through it. You know? Like we didn't ask. Like, did you say I wanted to come here? Maybe you did. I don't know. We can't remember. We can't remember.
I mean, I'm fucking over this
you
shit.
just turn up. You're just on this planet, and you just got to run with it. Like you got this woman and father maybe looking after you. You got these people called brothers and sisters that just. You're just here, and so you just do the best you can.
Because we're on this topic, and this is kind of going off topic, but sort of still in it, but I just want to ask, since we're on it, do you think everybody that gets put on this earth has purpose?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Everybody here. Every single person. People, actually, it's going to sound funny, but people who take DMT, they have the best explanation, I swear.
What's that?
That every single one of us, we're all just a small fragment, we're all connected into like this big, something big, greater. Like we're all connected. Every single one of us are all connected. And every single person that's done that drug, that narcotic, whatever is it?
A drug. Yes.
Yeah. They all have that. They all have that. Like we're all connected, and they think of life so much different, you know. And they don't. A lot of them, they fall out of the the bullshit, you know, that we think is life. Yeah, there's so much more. It's crazy.
It's interesting because I will look at people and I'll just be like, I wonder what you do in your life.
It's almost like a matrix, you know. It's like like we're all in the box, like in this box, and then some people take when they take it, it's like they've come out of the matrix and now they can see that no, life is more than what we think and what we can see and think at the moment. So I 100% believe that everybody has a purpose and everybody can find it, and you just got to start from the start, back as a child.
And it's all different, like.
Because then the next step, because the day 2 today, what I read this morning was, this lady was, she was thinking, well, how does she, all of her experiences, how do they all fit into a puzzle?
Yeah.
Because that's, once you take all your experiences and put into a puzzle, that will then now help you understand your values and what you're here for as well. So she was a cheerleader, she did it for like 13 years. And then how did that fit into what she does now, which was, I think she's like a public speaker or something?
Yeah.
Well, the cheerleading helped her will strengthen her ability to entertain a crowd. Do you know what I mean? So I think she works for the government or something like that. But now she can able to keep people's attention, and she speaks, obviously some good positive stuff, makes impacts on people's lives. But she was able to figure that out because she connected her experiences together and realized, oh cool, well this will strengthen my purpose because as a cheerleader you're good with the crowds, you're not afraid of putting yourself out there, and so that's step 2 is like, all right, look at your experiences, put it together, how does it come together, and then when you find your purpose, like it's just little steps
towards that.
It's so fucking cool.
You have to go back, like you have to work through your life journey and see
figure out what you like to do as a child. Get that imagination going, and then once you realize the values of that, then you start looking at your experiences in life and connect that to that value. Well, where does all the pieces come together? Yeah.
So we were talking about visions and where you were then to where you are now. So what does your vision look like in a nutshell if you were to picture it now? Like what are you striving for now as opposed to before? You said you wanted to be a millionaire and make money and be free and this.
Do I still want those things? Absolutely. I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
If you want to give it to me,
if the universe wants to provide it to me, God wants to provide it to me, I'll definitely take it. But my vision is at the moment is not very clear. That's the honest truth, because again, I'm only just started my process of trying to find what it is, what I feel my purpose is, my fulfillment in life. So maybe in 6 months or something, might have a different answer. At the moment, my goal is to find, what I want to wake up to, what I love what I truly want to do for a living, and what I love to do. What my purpose is. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. And I reckon I'll find it, man. I'm real confident.
I think so. I think we all.
I like the steps that I'm taking at the moment.
So.
Like, I'm now waking up, not saying what am I doing with my life. I actually know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna find it. For
the most part, you're on that journey.
I know the steps now. And I'm learning.
That's part of it.
So it's fucking cool. Real excited.
Interesting. Well, we talked way over time that I thought we were going to talk. But no, I love it. This was awesome. I'm so glad that you came on, and we were my first guest too. I just literally asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, cool. Just tell me when you want to do it." I was like, "Thanks." Is it this easy all the time? No. But no, it's been really good to have you on because I really want to show people, the different journeys, because I've been showing kind of mine and people love it, but like I'm still figuring shit out too. So like I really wanted to get different people's perspectives, and also to show that, success is different for different people. It doesn't have to mean millions of dollars and freedom for life and all that kind of stuff, you know? Like, everyone has different things. And the vision's all different too. So yeah, thank you for coming on. So that wraps up this episode, but stick around because we have a little challenge, and me and Sheah are very competitive. We don't really know how this is going to go, but yeah, go and check it out.